This is the Marvel Legends series, Marvel's Moon Knight. The figure is part of the Spider-Man Homecoming wave of Marvel Legends figures with the Build-A-Figure Marvel's Vulture, the cinematic universe's Marvel's Vulture. You build the wing for that particular figure, and that's the thing you build. And here is the packaging. You build the entire wing. Each figure will have a piece of the wing, including the Vulture himself. And some nice artwork of Moon Knight. Picked up the entire wave at Kramer Toy Warden here in Manila. And here he is. Frankly, I'm not one of those Moon Knight fans. I don't read the comic books. I heard about him. Maybe when I was younger, I probably read up a couple books on him, but not really into his gimmick of powers from the moon. He's like the dark. He's like, I don't know. Kind of reminds me of a Batman Punisher type of thing that has powers from the moon. I thought it was corny. I didn't really buy it. His old costume, we had that for Toy Biz, and now this is, I think, the current costume, which you also see in, if you play the game Contest of Champions on your mobile device. Alex, Danny, and we play that all the time, and this is the current costume they are using. Now, having said that, you know what? I think it's not a terrible figure. I think it's one of the figures that collectors will be after. And if you're a big Moon Knight fan, definitely a very definitive, pun intended, figure. Moon Knight figure. And surprisingly, he is well balanced. Look at that. The cape is doing a little bit of help, but sorry, that's my fault for tilting him. But let's get rid of D-Man. He's very, very well balanced. We get some new molded body parts on him. Let me just get him right. I have some issues with the figure, definitely, but as it is, the figure is wonderfully made. I think it's a new mold. I think they borrowed the thigh, hip pieces somewhere, but almost all the other pieces are newly molded figure molds by Hasbro. So you can see he's got some new shoes. The feet are definitely new. The shins, or the lower legs, the forearms, the hands, the shoulders, the hips, I think, are new because these things are not just glued in. There's like a groove that really molded in for that piece to really make it stick or assemble properly. Even the chest, it's a new chest, I think, that has a groove, and this thing is a separate piece that they attach. Head sculpt kind of looks like the Black Panther's head sculpt that they just glued on a hood. The hood is non-removable, unfortunately, but you can remove the cape if you want to by popping off the head. That's what I did when I unboxed this particular figure. It was very difficult to remove him from packaging without removing the head. Kind of looks like the Black Panther, kind of does, but it probably is. They probably just glued it on. Pop the head. Oh, let's look at the back. It's got that extra piece. It feels a little bit loose. Not glued in properly, but it's nice. They used really nice shimmery, flake, glossy type of, a little bit of flake metallic type of plastic. They use it for all the white pieces, except maybe for this one. Even this one has that sheen to it. So very nice choice of plastic. The cape looks to be like a new mold. It's this one. I've never seen this particular piece before, so it's definitely this type of molding before. So it's definitely, I think, a new mold. Just pop it in, plug in that cape at the back. Just pop in the head. There you go. Very nice looking Moon Knight, if you're really into Moon Knight. Alright, let's talk about the accessories. He does not have a gun. This is obviously D-Man's gun. Or Demolition Man, whatever. So yeah, they could have given him some at least two handguns. That would have been really nice. But they didn't. Sorry for taking. They didn't give him any guns. They gave him a nightstick or a staff. Come on, Hasbro. This is just laziness on the part of Hasbro. These are the Daredevil Billy Club sticks, which they also used for Mockingbird. I mean, nobody's gonna believe that this is Moon Knight's stick. I mean, they should have just molded a longer bow a staff. They could have, I don't know why they didn't do that. They could have easily recycled or repurposed that for a Gambit, for maybe an upcoming Gambit figure, or a Cable figure, or a Ninja figure, whatever. But they could have easily just molded it, but instead they decided to repurpose the Bobby Morse, the Daredevil Nightsticks Billy Club. So they could have even made it thinner with less details, and it would probably cost less. So I don't know. I don't know what they were going for with this one, and frankly, I'm not pleased with this. I'm not amused. They did give him some extra hands, fist hands, which is cool. You can pop one here so you can see the difference. So that's nice. I love the molding they use, all that moon, that crescent mold they put there. So very, very nice. Okay. We'll talk about paint later. So that's that. And the other thing that they gave us is the most annoying things in the world, and I can't even show it to you without putting it on my hand. And it's these. They gave us these are made of soft PVC material for safety issues, obviously. These are his, like, throwing, it's like his shurikens or whatever. He's throwing weapons. They're not knives, but they're like shooting stars or throwing stars. These in the shape of a moon, like his batarangs or moonerangs, whatever. Ching! This one's okay. I could have, you know, they gave us 3 more of these, it would have been fine. I just wish they found a way to store this thing somewhere, or at least keep it so you don't lose it. But instead they gave us these things, these smaller shooting moons or moonerangs, whatever, and they look like fingernail clippings, and I almost lost all of them in just like that, just opening the packages. They were taped in here, they're taped in right there on top, right there, and it's probably gonna go back there, and I'm probably gonna keep the box, because if I keep this in a bin, I'm sure it's gonna jiggle and I'm gonna lose this. So if you're not really interested in these, I'm sure these could fetch some money on eBay, because a lot of the collectors are probably going to be losing these things. And they're so small. And the thing is, the hands that they gave him can only hold this one. So which is fine. I'm totally fine with this one. This moon thingy. Moonerang. Is it really called a moonerang or whatever? Or shooting moon or shooting star moon, whatever. So it's fine. He can hold it like that. It's nice, like a nice sickle or a scythe, whatever. But these are just impossible to use on the figure. I don't know why they even did this. It's choking hazard. It's like, can he even put it there? Okay, so maybe you could do, but it's just stupid. Would somebody tell me, are you guys really gonna pose your Moon Knight with this? Really? I honestly don't see it. I wish they could have saved the plastic. They could have done away with this one as well and given him 2 guns or at least 1 pistol. I would have been very, very happy. Okay, so enough of that. Cape is okay. There's no paint on it. It's just plain white and all that. So sculpt wise, great. Weapon wise, sucks. Paint apps. So far everything turned out great. I didn't have difficulty choosing figures from the boxes I've seen at Kramer. Most of them turned out okay. The moon symbol on his chest looked great. The only thing you should be worried about, if at all, are the eyes, if they're painted on squarely or evenly, and that's it. There's hardly any paint issues. Even on the hands. Hands are okay. I'm sure there are some that have the white bleeding into the black, but they're all very minor. I didn't see a lot of those. Oh, this one has some issues with the black bleeding into the white, but it's forgivable. It's it's an easy fix. Not that big of a deal with paint issues. So articulation for the figure. He's got a ball jointed neck that's on a hinge. You've already seen that when I took off the head. He's got a ratcheting ab crunch. Waist swivel, which is nice. They kept this one as a separate piece, so you could move the waist. He's got a ball hinge shoulder, and even the crescent pieces, the armor pieces, can fit nicely inside that shoulder blade or that shoulder joint. So that's nice. You can go up and down like that. It's got a bicep swivel, and look at those triceps. They're very big. That makes me believe this is a new mold. It's got double jointed elbows, but they kind of just, the second joint just kind of does that. Not that big of a deal with a double jointed elbow. He's got ball hinge wrists that both wrists go up and down, not in and out. They swivel, go up and down, and mainly because of the staff weapon, I think. And it could have been more utilized had they given him a longer bow or longer staff. It's got a ball jointed hip, which is probably recycled, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, very nice, and ball hinge ankles that go very, very far. It's a good angle rotation with the rocker joints. So all in all, it's a great figure, but the lack of accessories is not going to make me give this figure a perfect score. As it is, if you're a big Moon Knight fan, this is a solid 9 out of 10 figure. I'd love to give it a 10 out of 10, but Hasbro screwed us with the accessories, and that they were just being lazy and cheap. Shame on you, Hasbro. You could have done so much better. This would have been a perfect figure had you given us a longer staff, like remold the staff, given us pistols instead of these moon, or just maybe one of these, and then gotten rid of these fingernail clippings and just gave us pistols. I would have forgiven you guys. I mean, I would have forgone these fists had they given us 2 pistols. I would have been okay with that. So anyway, that's it. It's a great figure. If you're a Moon Knight fan, if you're not so much of a Moon Knight fan, don't go paying too much for this figure. I hear it's going for so much on eBay. Just you will find it on retail. It's 1 per case, but I reckon there's not a lot of Moon Knight figures out there, Moon Knight fans out there for this particular figure. You'll probably have an easy time getting this one. I think the more difficult one to get would probably be the Spider-Man Homecoming figures, because everybody's just into that new Spider-Man. I know this one's, yeah, but the Spider-Mans go first, then this guy, then the Beetle. All right. There you go, folks. Hope you enjoyed this little video review. This has been the Marvel Legends series, Marvel's Moon Knight, from the new Spider-Man Homecoming series of Marvel Legends figure, the Build-A-Figure, the Vulture, Build-A-Wing, Build-A-Figure, wave of figures. Thanks for watching.